4 vintage Star Wars action figures from the 1980s, but there's more to these than meets the eye. They once belonged to Stephen Merchant when he was a kid, and now they're mine. This is the story of how these toys here travelled from Stephen Merchant's childhood through a charity auction to me for my birthday. So, I love Star Wars and I love vintage toys. You guys know this. And for my birthday, my dad absolutely blindsided me with something unreal. The toys here aren't just any Star Wars Kenner toys. They came with this certificate. I can see this is reflecting far too much light. Get your sunglasses on if it's too bright for you, but this confirms that these are part of Stephen Merchant's personal childhood collection. It's crazy to think that these sat in his toy box back in the day. A lot of you who watch this YouTube channel are not from the UK, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Stephen Merchant just so you have some context as to why these toys would be so special to me. Stephen Merchant is an English comedian, writer, director and actor. He does it all. He was the co-writer and co-director of the UK Office, Extras and Life's Too Short, all alongside Ricky Gervais. Just mentioning those 3 shows really does Stephen a disservice because they are just a fraction of what he has achieved. Not to mention an entire generation of people who were inspired by the mannerisms and comedy nuances in those shows. I'm not actually sure that sentence made any sense, but just to break it down, Stephen has inspired a lot of people, including myself. His programs have got me through some tough times and have probably given me more laughs than anything else ever created. So hopefully that gives you a good idea as to why these toys would be so special to me. So, in May 2025, Stephen Merchant put his entire Star Wars collection up for auction, not to make money, but to raise funds for Ashton Park School in Bristol where his niece and nephew go. The auction was run by Auctionum and it ended up raising over £5,000. This helped the school build a big outdoor covered space for activities and lessons. These toys didn't just make someone feel nostalgic, but they genuinely helped a school too. This is something I think about when I look at them. It's really unique. I haven't had that before. These toys are part of something bigger. They helped out. It's heartwarming to know that Stephen Merchant once played with these as a kid, and then in some sort of poetic way he's donated them to help kids today. Thanks to my dad, the generations have been bridged, and these toys have found their way to me to start their next chapter. What a journey. Alright, let's start with Dengar, the bounty hunter who gets about 10 seconds of screen time in The Empire Strikes Back. He doesn't say a single word, by the way, but still ended up with one of the coolest Kenner figures. It's a beautiful sculpt with his scarred, grumpy face. The scar is movie accurate. You have the 1980 Hong Kong stamp on the leg, an awesome backpack, and he is complete with his weapon. This is the first Dengar I have ever owned, so I am very happy and excited. Next up, we have the 1983 Rebel Commando as seen on Endor, complete with the original weapon. I love this toy. It is a classic vintage action figure. This stands and presents so nicely, especially with the blaster rifle hanging from his shoulder. It blows my mind that it survived the 80s. Stephen took good care of his toys. Again, this is the first I have ever owned, so it's really exciting for me to have this in my possession. Then, I've got not one, but 2 log rays. We are big on Ewoks on this channel, and it is honestly one of the most detailed Ewok molds Kenner ever made. Check out the staff, the headdress, the bag, the teeth. I could never get bored of looking at these, and I can't wait to introduce them to the gang. As you can tell, I love these figures and I love the story behind them. You know that means everything to me if you watch this channel. Not only have they lived a life through Stephen Merchant already, but it's the fact that my dad went behind my back to buy them. The last time I checked in with my dad, everything was getting bid on too much and becoming too expensive. And then 6 months later, my birthday comes round, I've forgotten all about it, and I'm hit with this amazing surprise. You just don't forget memories like that. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe to the Junkyard if you're new, but most importantly, hit me up in the comments, what is the most meaningful toy to you? Alright guys, thank you for watching and may the force be with you.